I want to take a minute and talk about American ingenuity and technology and advancements and something that can benefit you as a consumer. My next guest has worked with his father for years to create a hybrid geothermal system made in America that uses the well in your yard. If you live out in the country, you have a well in your yard, and you heat with propane or heating oil or wood, this could save you a tremendous amount of money. It doesn't replace your furnace or your air conditioner, but boy, does it cuts the cost to a point that's remarkable. And there's some urgency here because the big, beautiful bill, as wonderful as it is, cuts some subsidies and some federal tax credits for these systems. The Well-Connect system is remarkable. Joining me now, Tim Schultz from Well-Connect. Tim, nice to see you back on the program. And we talk to people about this system because it's unlike anything out there. Your father invented this. He's an engineer from the University of Michigan. And years ago, you bought a property that had this well, and you said, man, how do we turn this into a viable energy source? And man, he did it. And so when you do geothermal now, you don't need that big pond in your backyard like people have had for years. No, you just need a well. And again, if you heat with propane or heating oil or even wood, it can save you a tremendous amount of money. So explain how this system works, if you would, sir, and thank you for being here.
Appreciate it, Steve. Thanks for having me again. Yeah, the project you reference is now 20 years ago that we took an old paper mill and turned it into a shipwreck museum up here on Thunder Bay in Alpena, Michigan. And still cruising along smoothly. But that idea of using an existing well is what my dad kept thinking about and said, kind of applying the 80-20 rule. Why do we need to size a system for the few coldest days of the year? The home already has a furnace that works just fine for that. It's just expensive to operate. So we again did the 80-20 rule, and we said, let's size a geothermal system that handles the needs of the home, both heating and cooling, for what it's like the vast majority of the time, and leave the furnace there just to help out in the coldest days. And by doing that, we really minimize the amount of water flow needed. We don't then also need the loop field of conventional geothermal. And the furnace is going to last longer, and the upfront cost primarily of this is dramatically less than conventional geothermal technology. So compare it to a conventional furnace in AC or the air source heat pumps, which are getting very, very popular. Our system is all about the same upfront cost, even before any incentives, and yet we're significantly more efficient because we're using energy from the ground.
Considerably more efficient. In fact, you put together a comparison I'd like to share with the folks.
Yep.
If you have a propane furnace, it's probably made in Mexico, and you're getting about 14 miles a gallon. We're going to put this into miles per gallon so people understand exactly how you would compare this. An air source heat pump comes from China. But the Well-Connect is made in America, and you go from 14 to 24 to 40 miles per gallon. That's the efficiency comparison. Just so you have an idea, so we put it into something that people understand. Made in America, more than tripling, basically tripling what you get from Mexico, almost doubling out of China. I mean, it's a remarkable system. It's been around, like you said, for 20 years. It's in thousands of homes. People love it, and it can really change everything because what you're doing is you're only running your furnace in your house on the very coldest days of the year. The rest of the time, you have this ground source heat pump that moves the heat through your house. When you're using air conditioning, not only is it air conditioning your house almost for free, it's also dehumidifying your house. I mean, it's a remarkable system, Tim. That's why I sit here and brag about it on the program.
Yeah, and again, most people wait. I mean, 99% of people are waiting for their current system to die, the furnace, the AC unit, and then they have to do something either on the coldest days of the year or the hottest days of the summer. And so what we're trying to get people to look at is, upgrade your existing system now, and you're locking in for low heating and cooling costs for the next 20 plus years. And the savings that are generated literally pay for the system. So financially, it's a no-brainer. And again, we're saying don't wait until you have to do something. Do this now. Plan ahead. And again, I would suggest you go to look at our Google reviews. We have a 4.8 score right now. But our customers really, they read how many times you see the word love in the reviews.
No, I've seen it. I was telling you just before we came out, I had a guy that I know lives in northern Michigan call me today. Hey, I hear you talking about this. What do you really think? I said, people love it. That's what I really think. Because if we talk about something here on the program, people don't like it, Tim, they let me know. Trust me. They will send me notes and say, Gruber, what are you doing? I don't get that ever from Well-Connect. And here's the other thing, the big, beautiful bill, the tax credit. There's a 30% federal tax credit for installing a Well-Connect system. It expires at the end of the year. So you can save a 30% tax credit. That's important. But here's something else I found, and I want people to be aware of this. Great Lakes Energy is a co-op energy company in northern Michigan. Just one example. Right now, a ground source heat pump will get you a $2,000 rebate from the local energy company there. You said you've got rebates as high as $7,000 in places like New York. I mean, that's significant, Tim.
Exactly. Yeah. And we'll do all the homework, or no matter where you live in the country, we can help you find those incentives. We designed this really for the handy rural homeowner. I mean, about 25% of our systems, the homeowners actually DIY install, and we have a contractor do the startup and inspection to make sure everything's good. By the way, there's a monitor on every system, so the homeowner and we are continuously monitoring things, making sure everything's running smoothly. It gives you a report on how much money you save, energy you saved, etc. But yeah, we'll do that research for you and find the best deal. But again, we built this to be affordable without all the incentives. We don't want to rely on those to have a successful.
No, it's a bonus. Right now, it's a big bonus. Take
so why not take advantage
bonus.
of it?
Yeah,
yep, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. No, the system will pay for itself, even if you finance it, because your energy costs will come down so far that even if you finance the system, you're money ahead day one. That's what he's always told me. I'd like you to go to wellconnectgeo.com to find out more. Talk to my good friend Tim Schultz and his team. Wellconnectgeo.com. If you're using propane, heating oil, wood, maybe natural gas, but they'd have to look at the system, and you want to take advantage of the government federal tax credit, or maybe your co-op in your area can give you some more rebates and so forth, you're going to save money either way. It's a time-tested system made in America. Made in America. Tim Schultz from Well-Connect, thank you for being here.
Thanks a lot, Steve.
There you have it. WellConnectGeo.com. Check it out, and I'll be right back.